Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at something truly chilling, a final message, a really desperate one, and we're going to uncover how it played this undeniable role in a true crime story. It's almost unbelievable, right? A victim's own words, basically from beyond the grave, becoming the key, the absolute key to getting justice. That's really our mission today in this Deep Dive.
It really is, and it's such a stark look at how an ordinary life can just take such an unexpected dark turn. This case, it powerfully shows how in our digital world, just one small digital breadcrumb, like a text, it can act like a modern dying declaration. It can just completely flip an investigation on its head, cut through all the initial confusion almost instantly.
Yeah, instantly is the word. So with that message really setting the scene, let's dive straight into the timeline. Austin, Texas. It was March 12th, 2024, 10:42 p.m. Randy Sellers, he's a 28-year-old software engineer. He sends this text to his brother, and I'm quoting it exactly here. "If I die tonight, it was her. You know who."
Wow. Just stark.
Right, and Randy's, from everything we've read, he was known for being super private, very logical, kind of obsessed with numbers, coding, that sort of thing. So for him to send something so abrupt, so chilling, it was completely out of character. I mean, you have to ask, right? What makes someone like Randy send a message like that? What on earth was going on?
Well, what's really striking is exactly that contrast. You have this person known for, methodical logic, and he's driven to send a message that's just pure, desperate instinct. It's visceral. And such a specific, dire warning, coming from someone who absolutely wasn't prone to drama. It just screams that the situation was truly, truly dire. And the her he mentioned, that was Elena Reyes, described as beautiful, magnetic, but also unpredictable. And she'd really changed Randy's life profoundly in just a few months before that night.
Okay, so let's back up a bit to the relationship itself. It started really fast, didn't it? They met on a dating app late 2023, and then boom, within weeks, totally inseparable. It sounds like it was intense, all-consuming almost.
Very much so. That initial intensity can sometimes mask underlying issues.
And then things started to shift. Randy's friends, they began noticing these, alarming changes in him. This wasn't just, new relationship stuff. It sounds like something much darker was happening underneath. He stopped hanging out, started missing work, which was unlike him, lost weight, became paranoid. His best friend, Matt, even told the police, and this quote really sticks with me, he looked scared, like he was constantly being watched. So what were those signs telling us? What was really going on in that relationship?
Yeah, if we look at the bigger picture, these aren't just red flags. They really point to a classic escalating pattern of coercive control. Elena's behavior, it seems like it involves systematically chipping away at Randy's independence, his reality even. We see these specific examples, like her showing up at his work uninvited, checking his phone when he wasn't looking, that kind of thing. There was even a neighbor who heard them fighting, heard Randy begging her to leave, and Elena screaming back that if she couldn't have him, no one could. It is, and this type of psychological manipulation, it often flies under the radar, from the outside. It makes it incredibly hard for victims to get help, or sometimes even to see the danger they're in themselves, until, tragically, it's too late.
And then, right after sending that text message, Randy just disappears. Vanishes. His phone, off, silent. His car is still parked right outside his apartment, and the door's locked. No sign of forced entry, nothing. Superficially, it almost looked like he just walked away.
Almost, but not quite.
Exactly. Because police, they pretty quickly spotted things that just didn't add up. Crucial anomalies. Randy's laptop was gone, missing, and the only security camera in the hallway, it had been manually unplugged.
Which immediately suggests someone didn't want their movements recorded.
Right.
And Elena, initially, she tried to steer the narrative, didn't she? Told police she hadn't seen him in days, suggested maybe he was, quote, having a breakdown.
Yeah, trying to paint him as unstable.
But Randy's brother, he wasn't having any of it. Not for a second. He went straight to the police with that final text message. And it just makes you think, doesn't it? How completely the whole investigation just shifts. The narrative gets totally flipped. When one critical piece of information like that text suddenly appears, everything changed right then.
Yeah, that text was the pivot. So with the brother's testimony, with that message,
the
investigation just kicked into high gear. Detectives got a warrant for Elena's apartment.
Fast.
and what they found inside.
Profoundly disturbing is probably an understatement. Tucked away in her closet, wrapped in a towel, there was Randy's laptop. It looked like it had been wiped clean. But, wiped clean rarely means everything's gone forever, especially with digital forensics. So what did they actually manage to pull off that drive?
Exactly right. Even when people try desperately to erase things, digital ghosts often linger. And what they recovered, from a hidden folder, no less, it was truly chilling. It was a whole series of secret videos of Randy. Videos of him sleeping, working, just talking on the phone, all recorded without his knowledge. Wow, just pure surveillance.
Yeah. The level of surveillance, the premeditation that these hidden recordings suggest, it's absolutely critical. It painted this really clear picture of Elena's obsessive, controlling behavior. This went way beyond, normal relationship problems.
And then came the physical evidence, the stuff that really solidified the horror. In her kitchen trash can, investigators found gloves, a rope, and clothing stained with blood.
Oh, man.
DNA tests came back quickly, no doubt about it. The blood was Randy's.
Right, and those items, they undeniably point to a violent act. This clearly wasn't some simple disappearance anymore. It was looking like a calculated violent crime. The evidence was just piling up piece by undeniable piece. It was proving that Randy's desperate text wasn't just fear-talking, it was a direct warning, a prediction, almost.
The final piece, the confirmation, it came 9 days later, the discovery of Randy's body. He was found in a wooded area about 40 miles outside Austin, buried, shallow grave, wrapped in plastic, duct taped.
It's brutal.
And the autopsy results were horrific. Death from blunt force trauma, repeated forceful hits to the head, clearly indicating, an intentional brutal attack, not an accident.
Absolutely.
And then the final detail, the one that just screamed premeditation. Elena had rented a cabin nearby under a fake name. She rented it the very night Randy disappeared. So the picture that emerged, it wasn't impulsive, it was tragically, meticulously planned.
Yeah, that cabin rental just underscored the utterly calculated nature of the whole thing. When you put all the pieces together, Randy's text, the secret videos, the gloves and rope, the body, the cabin, it formed this undeniable, cohesive case against her. It showed that Randy's last words were, well, the precise prophetic truth.
So the trial, it starts October 2024. Elena pleads not guilty. Her defense, that Randy was actually obsessed with her, that all the evidence planted.
A narrative completely detached from the facts they presented.
Completely.
And the jury, well, they saw right through it. Didn't take them long at all. Only 6 hours, I think, to come back with a guilty verdict, first-degree murder. The sentence was life without parole. I mean, the evidence, especially that initial text and the digital forensics, it was just overwhelming. Too compelling to ignore.
Yeah. And Randy's brother, later, in an interview, he said something just incredibly poignant. He said, I knew something was wrong. I just wish I had done more, which is heartbreaking. But that text, it saved the case. He saved himself in a way.
Wow.
That single message had such a profound impact, not just for his family, but for bringing the truth, for bringing justice to light. It really speaks to the incredible, almost tragic power of a warning given right at the very last moment.
It really does.
So it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? What would you do if you felt your life was genuinely in danger, but you felt like maybe no one would believe you?
Yeah. Would you send that one final message, that one text, that one email? And the bigger question, I suppose, would anyone truly listen? And maybe how can we, as friends, as family, as a society, how can we get better at hearing those quieter warnings, those desperate pleas that might seem out of character, until suddenly, tragically, it's too late?
Really powerful and, somber reminder. Trusting your gut is so critically important. Sometimes that single desperate message really is the only warning someone gets. But it can also be, in its own tragic way, the pathway to finding the truth, to justice.